Hey YouTube, how's it going? Today I'm going to be redoing my little mix of food that I feed my fish. Anyways, this is just a mixture of different foods that I use, and I have it in a pepper mill and I just kind of grind it all together, which comes up with a nice little mix that I feed the fish. So basically I'm going to open up my collection of food right here and do a new mix, because I do got a new food in today, which is this stuff right here. Let me pull it out. This is from Aquatic Foods, California Blackworm Company. What this is Blackworm Pellets. So basically that's a new food that I purchased. I'll provide some links down below in the description if you want to try this out for yourself. Primarily what this is Blackworm Pellets. Of course this one does have color enhancers, and this one is a sinking variety. Most of my fish do like sinking stuff. Though some of this stuff does float, so it's a bit of a mixture between all of them. So I'm going to add this into the mix along with all my other foods, which I'm going to show. This right here is some Cobalt, Smartmenia, Smartemia. So I'm going to put some of that in there. This is more of a fine fine food. Good for any like fry that happen to be in the tank. Like in my Maltese tank, I do have fry in there. So it gives kind of like a little mixture of foods in there. Then I also do have some Hikari freeze-dried bloodworms that I'm going to add to the mix, as well as some other foods in here. I do have first bites, which I'm not going to bother with, but I do have a bunch of other stuff in here. These are sinking wafers, which I'm not going to put in the mix. Let's see what else I have. Some of the stuff is stuff I got from the my aquarium box, like this micro omni granules. So I'll probably put some of that in there. Primarily it just gives my fish a whole variety of different things. I got a sample of bug bites in here that I'm probably going to use. Some decapsulated brine shrimp eggs, not for hatching, but this is primarily for actually feeding fry. So I'll probably put some of that in there as well. And another thing I'm going to probably start doing as well is start vacuum packing some of this food. This right here, I'm going to basically grind this up and put it for further storage. Maybe figure out another use for it in the meantime. Fiber Brights, which is another food I do have. This I might keep as is, so I'm not going to worry about that too much. And then I got a bunch of other stuff in here that I'm going to probably put in there as well. A lot of the stuff is from my aquarium box. I have a Sierra treat mix, which is going to go in there as well, which is just kind of a flaky food. So put some of that in there. And like I said, after I'm done with this, I'm going to actually package all these up into vacuum pack pouches. This is a marine flake I got from Reefapalooza. A lot of this stuff is stuff I bought or I got from like a fish club, like this krill mix I got from a fish club. My aquarium box, these are Spirulina Pellets, so that would be another good addition, especially for my Mabunas back here. Give them their vegetable diet. Of course, got my regular bug bites. Got cichlid flakes from Fancy Tail Aquatics. Let's see, Blood Red Parrot, which is this one from Hikari. This one's a floating type. And of course a bunch of different ones I'm going to mix together. So once I get that, I'm not quite sure which ones I'm going to add in there, but I'll figure that out as I go. But first things first, I'm going to empty this out. This has a little bit of stuff left in there, so I'm just going to empty it out and start anew. And figure out what I'm going to do with the rest of this food at a later point in time. So let me go ahead and dump that into the bag here and vacuum pack it for later usage. Right now on this one, I'm probably going to increase the size of the pellets. I normally do it at a larger aspect, but basically on this is pretty much what I do when I feed my fish. I just grind them all together, and kind of gives it a nice little mix of foods for the fish. So that's pretty much what I do. Ooh. Okay, so now I'm all ready. I do have the other one packaging it up into a not Ziploc bag, but one of those what's it called? Those vacuum pack seals. So I'll have that for a later point in time. I just got to figure out what I'm going to do with this. I might just mix it in with my Babuna stuff, but it's basically just a bunch of a mixture of different foods, which includes like the Tetra tropical granules right here. So all I do is, of course, then grab a spoon, primarily a disposable one. That way I'm not using my kitchen stuff in there. So then it's just a matter of just finding which kind of mix I want. I know I do want to add a bunch of this, which is the Blackworm Pellets. That's going to be partially my base for this food. So let me go ahead and add a mixture on that. So there we go. Now I did put 3 teaspoons of the blackworms in there, the blackworm pellets, so I have that. And then of course I'm going to add some of the tropical granules. Primarily just a couple spoons of that as well, that way I have that. And maybe I'll start with one, that way I get a good mix. One thing with this is basically you want to make sure if you're doing a variety, make sure you leave enough room for everything else. Make sure you have a good enough container for that. One thing I could probably do is I could probably just throw this all in one different bag if I really wanted to and mix it together if I wanted. But I figure doing it separate like this probably works a little bit better. Then I could just measure it out a little bit better. Let me see here. It's got some new Life Spectrum stuff in here. This one right here, of course, this is the Thera A+, which I think this is also includes some garlic, so I'm going to throw some of that in there. So basically my fish have a variety of different kinds of foods. Of course, probably just do 1.5 on that. Yeah, maybe I'll do 2 on that. I typically go 2 per each, so off to the next one, which I do want to make sure I do get some of the flakes in there as well. Add to a different kind of diet in there. These flakes are a little bit larger, so with this I'm just going to probably just hand feed that into the container. Carefully, I don't want to make a mess on my table. I know I'm going to have to clean this afterwards anyways. So this one is the Cholera Flakes probiotics formula from Seachem. This I believe I got at Reefapalooza when I went there. So I've got some of that, and of course I'm going to probably add, I know I have the Spirulina Flakes, but since I have the pellets, I'm going to use the pellets instead. They tend to take up more room on the flakes than they do on the pellets. So let me just find the pellets. I know I had some in here. Of course, when you have a variety of different foods, it's kind of hard to keep track sometimes. Let's see, flakes. Oh yeah, that's what it was. It was I think it was one of my Aquarium box ones, which is right here, which is the Spirulina Pellets. I'm going to use that in there. So a whole variety of different kind of food for my food mix that I use. Couple spoons of that. That way they get some vegetables in their diet. I'm also going to use some of the kelp as well. So it's going to be a bit of a mix, omnivore diet. All my fish typically are omnivores, so they're not strictly plant eaters, and they're not strictly meat eaters. Even the Mabunas eat a little bit of meat in their diet as well, but primarily I know with the Mabunas they do more eat vegetables more than anything. So, okay. And of course, like I said, after this I'm done, I'm probably going to throw these more into the vacuum pack seals. That way they stay fresher longer. Okay, go ahead and add some of this blood red parrot into the mix. This one already has its own little spoon, so I'm going to do 3 of those. And of course, after I'm done with all this, I do mix it up, so it's when you do feed it, it's going to be more of mixed together rather than kind of just all one piece at a time. These are krill. Throw some of the krill in there. And of course some of the smaller foods, that way it gets to the smaller fries. Probably not so much of that stuff, just a little bit here and there. Don't need a lot of that stuff. Okay, what else do I want? I know I do want some Daphnia. This is a freeze-dried Daphnia from Aquarium. Well, this is definitely coming along well. Figured else. I know I do have the freeze-dried river shrimp, but I'm probably gonna hold off on it this time. I really didn't like the way that they took up the space in the food and how they really crumbled up, so I'm gonna hold off on that this time. I'm gonna add some of this brine shrimp eggs, which is just the ones that are specifically for feeding fish, not specifically for hatching. Yeah, this of course has a distinct smell to it. Add some of that in there. And then figure out what room I have left for other things. Like bug bites and a few other things I do have in here, like the treat mix. And probably add some stuff already added in there previously, so just to round up what I have in here. Go add more of the tropical granules here. Okay. Leave some room in there so I can mix it well and see how this one goes. Nice and tight. Put this on small. Don't want it too large, don't want it too small. And then all I have to do now is mix it all together, have a nice little mix. And that way it is a mixture of different foods to feed my fish. And that way when I grind it all together, it kind of mixes in. As you can see, it's already kind of getting mixed in there. You can see some of the flakes mixed in with the pellets, and it's all not. I mean, you still have some which is kind of grouped together, which by shaking it more, it should fix the issue and it should be more mixed. So, and probably after doing this, I'm probably gonna have some room to add some more stuff. So, let's see where we're at after some things get settled down and all the air gets pushed out and. Yeah, no, that's gonna be pretty full. So that's gonna be my mix for this time around. So now all I have to do is feed my fish. Okay, so now I am at my tank with my multis. So basically, I'm gonna take this, turn it upside down, and of course grind some of the food into the small container, and then feed my fish. I'm gonna feed my multis as well as my pistogrammas with this food. My mabunas get a different mix, so I'm not worried about them right now. So I got some of it into this little dish right here, and I'm gonna go ahead and feed my multis first, and then feed my pistogrammas. Gently, carefully do this so I don't feed it too much. And I think I like the way this mix came out. Okay, so that is my new mix of foods, which is going to be all in this pepper mill to basically grind up and feed my fish at various points of the day. And basically now all I have to do is just take all this stuff, and I'm probably just going to vacuum pack this all together, and that way it's nice and neater and it's not as taking up as much space as it was before. So anyways, thanks for watching, and keep researching, keep learning, and if you do like this video, make sure you hit the like button. Thank you.